Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to look at a new Magneton card. Yeah, when we saw the box for Dream League the other day, the new set in Japan, there was a Magneton on the side, and I was like, yeah, that means we're getting a new Magneton. I didn't think Magneton itself would be particularly exciting. Yeah, I was really wrong about that, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, look, Magneton is a stage 1 Pokemon. It's generally there to evolve. The stats aren't particularly exciting. It's got 80 HP, which means, along with its fighting weakness, a Buzzwole with an anti-Prism Star will get a very, 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 very easy one-hit KO. So that's not entirely great. And we got a retreat cost of 2, which is just kind of rubbish. Now, the resistance to metal is quite good, but again, we're talking 80 HP, and it is a lightning Pokemon, so you've got electro power to do a little bit of extra damage and all of that, which is nice. But then we look at the first attack, and it's lightning, colorless 50 damage. Well, no! You're just not going to be using that. Now, maybe Magneton evolves into Magnezone, and we've got some decent Magnezone at the moment. We can have a look at those in a minute. But actually, there's an ability here, and if Magneton's going to get its own video, and it's going to get a spot on the side of the box, it needs to be pretty gosh darn good as an ability. And the great news is, yeah, it's really gosh darn good as an ability. Once during your turn, you may knock out this Pokemon. If you do, search your deck for 3 cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Oh yeah, that's really good. That is the ability equivalent of Steven's Resolve, except it doesn't end your turn. That's like Macargo, except it gets you 3 cards rather than 1, and they go into your hand rather than on the top of your deck. That's free computer search, but you don't have to discard any cards from your hand. That's Teammates, but you don't need to have had a Pokemon KO the previous turn. And you get a 3rd card. I could keep going, but you get the point here. It's like Twins, but you don't have to be behind on prizes and you get a 3rd card. This is phenomenal in terms of searching. I mean, this is phenomenal to the point where if you're trying to get stage 2s out, you need 2 rare candies and 2 of the stage 2s. Let's just say Mamoswine to keep it easy. Well, this gets you 3 of those 4 cards, so as long as you've got either a rare candy or a Mamoswine in hand or another way to get them, you can KO Magneton and then all of a sudden you've got that double stage 2 sitting there rocking. It's awesome. It's like really crazy over the top good. But you have to knock it out. And if you knock it out, you have to give your opponent a prize. Giving your opponent a prize is not necessarily ideal. Okay. Except there are plenty of situations where giving your opponent a prize is absolutely fine. So let's take Garchomp as an example. Garchomp at the moment really is the poster boy for wanting to be behind on prizes. So Garchomp itself has an ability whereby your attacks do an extra 80 damage if you're behind on prizes. And being a fighting Pokemon, you can use Martial Arts Dojo, which means if you've got a basic fighting energy attached to any Pokemon, incidentally, not necessarily a fighting Pokemon, you do an extra 10 damage, but if you're behind on prizes, that extra 10 goes to an extra 40. That's quite cool. But then, of course, you've got Black Belt, which, if you're behind on prizes, reduces the attack cost by 1 fighting energy. So if you've got a Garchomp and he's behind on prizes, then your attack does 200 for a single colourless energy, and that's before you add in the 40 for Martial Arts Dojo and, incidentally, the 20 from Diancie Prism Star. So, yeah. Going behind on prizes turns Garchomp from 2 energy 130 to 1 energy 240. That's a big difference. And the great thing is here that if you blow up the Magneton in order to get the Garchomp behind on prizes, You can search for the black belt, you can search for the martial arts dojo, the Diancie prison star, or the rare candy if you don't have the Garchomp yet, etc. Not only does it put you behind on prizes, which is where you want to be, but it also lets you search for the cards that you need to take advantage of the fact that you're behind on prizes. Now, incidentally, these aren't the only cards that give you benefits of being behind on prizes. We've still got Counter Gain, which reduces your attack cost by 1 colourless energy if you're behind on prizes. We've got Lieutenant Surge's Strategy, which lets you play 2 supporters this turn if you're behind on prizes. We've got Raichu, if you've got at least 3 prize cards more than your opponent. Attach all lightning energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way that you like. Incidentally, don't forget that we've got Reset Stamp at the moment, or we will by the time this all comes out. So you can put your opponent down to like a 1-card hand and then use Raichu here. Oh yeah, Reset Stamp might be worth having a bit of a gander. Reset Stamp lets you, or forces your opponent, to shuffle their hand into their deck and draw a number of cards equal to their remaining prizes. So if you're really behind in the game and you're having a bad time and you really need to put your opponent behind as much as possible, you can use this to let them take their 5th prize. Now, on the one hand, that's terrifying. On the other hand, maybe you've only got GXs and tag teams and all that left anyway. If you've got no single prize Pokemon left, doesn't really matter whether your opponent's got 1 prize remaining or 2. But you can use this to put your opponent down from 2 prizes to 1 remaining, and then drop a reset stamp so that they draw 1 card rather than 2. So fun use for it. There's also a Crabrawler from Unbroken Bonds, fighting double colourless, 30 damage, but if you've got more prize cards remaining, 90 damage. I'll be honest with you, Crabrawler's not awesome. And I suppose one more little shout out to both Dawnwings and Duskmane Necrozma, both of whom need to be behind on prizes in order to use their GX attack. And if you've ever played Duskmane Necrozma in the mirror, and I have way more than I wanted to, really you kind of want to go behind on prizes to get the first GX attack off, and this will very much help you to do so. Okay. Now, the thing is, we've actually already got something that can put you behind on prizes. We've already got Mismagius that came out in Unbroken Bonds. You KO it and draw till you've got 7 cards in your hand. Not only that, but Mismagius has Duskstone, so you can pop a Misdreavus down, play a Duskstone, immediately search for and evolve into Mismagius, and it gives you that little bit more speed and consistency that you kind of need to be able to get this rolling. Because if you just keep putting Magnemites on your bench and your opponent keeps KOing them, that's going to be bad. Now, having said that, we're losing all of our gusting options like Guzma when the rotation hits, so honestly, the chances of your opponent gusting up that Magnemite turn after turn, yes, we all know that they can do it pre-rotation using Guzma. Post-rotation, it honestly shouldn't be on your list of worries. It just doesn't happen very much anymore, so that's a handy little bonus. That'll help you out nicely. Honestly, though, I think Magneton's better than Mismagius. I am a huge fan of the new Garchomp. It's going to be one of the decks I am testing a lot when Unified Minds comes out in a couple of weeks. And honestly, at the moment, you've got to play Mismagius. It's the only option. But I look at Magneton and I'm just like, well, I mean, why not? Like, that seems better. Unless you're, to be honest, even if you are drawing like 6 cards with Mismagius, that would mean you got 1 card in hand. Still, if you're after specific cards, you're better off searching for 3 than you are drawing 6 the majority of the time. Now, the other thing is that if you are playing Magneton, there is the possibility that you just play Magnezone and go, look, I'm already playing the evolution line, I might as well put Magnezone in just in case. And we have 3 options when the rotation hits in terms of Magnezone. Now, 2 of them are the same, just different typings. We've got the one from Forbidden Light, which is Lightning type, and the one from Ultra Prism, which is Metal type. They just allow you to attach as much energy as you like during your turn. Also, they do 130 for 4 energy, 3 coloured and a colourless. But remember that going behind on prizes using Magneton can actually help you search out the rare candy, etc. that you need, so that's kind of cool. The other one is actually just about to come out in Unified Minds, and it's alright. The ability says it is both lightning and metal type, and for 1 lightning, 2 colourless energy, 120, put a trainer card from your discard pile into your hand. It's alright. It's not great, but it's alright. Generally speaking, you probably won't be playing Magnezone, you'll be playing Magneton, but there will sometimes be you want to play a Magnezone deck, so you play this to give you that extra consistency in terms of being able to search out the cards that you want. Honestly, as much as I think this is probably the one you should play in a Magnezone deck, you don't have to blow it up to get the search, but if you're having a bad game and you can't get set up, this will be an absolute lifesaver, even though you're giving up a prize. So I think this is the one to play. But this is going to see a lot of play in a lot of decks just for the searching, and honestly, giving up a prize in a lot of decks isn't that bad. The biggest issue here is it better than Mismagius? And generally, I think that it is. So I'm giving it 4 Wassies. I think it's a really good card that is going to make a whole bunch of decks significantly better than they would be without it. But I would very much like to know what you think, so please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't even have any Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.